Hello and welcome back to the Remembering Tuscola webcast. I'm David Porter. I'm here with, I'm sorry, what was your names again? Bill,
Just say two of the finest.
two of the finest,
Yeah.
two of the sharpest, two of the best looking, handsomest.
Don't stop now while you're rolling.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of anything else.
doing pretty well.
Mike
As-
Carroll and Bill
Becky,
Engelhard.
as Becky introduces me, tall, dark, and tall.
Mm. Yeah, and you're not that dark, so
That's right. I've been staying inside lately.
Too windy.
She got me nailed to the floor in the kitchen.
You better, or you blow away. Jamie.
anything before we get rolling, anything words of wisdom or
Yeah.
It's springtime.
I did find some interesting. I had some help with this, but I did come across a picture that you've been wanting to for a long time.
Engelhart in the church.
So
Engelhart in the
what's
church.
that?
That's outside of church.
Oh, that's outside of church.
Becky, you have to look at this. You have to come- I want my wife to see this.
Bill, which one are you?
Bill and
Bill's the one
Trey.
that- He's one tall white socks and the short skirt.
In the background.
Oh, yeah, I remember those guys.
Best,
That's really a good
Is
picture.
that you on
Best-
the left?
That's me
Yeah.
on the left.
that
Yeah.
was, they were best friends all through, I'd say from seventh, eighth grade, all through high school.
Even before,
Even
actually.
before-
Yeah,
Greg Skinner on the right.
Greg Skinner, yeah.
The late Greg
Yes.
Skinner.
So this doesn't satisfy your request, Mike, to find a
Well,
picture
it's
of Bill in
some
church?
evidence they were outside the church, and I guess it's good he got that close to the church.
Well, I did some digging, Mike, and I found a picture of Bill in a church.
Well, it's got to be a baby in a baptismal font or something. It's got to be a joke. That's a good picture. They were hombres. They were cutting a white swath across.
Can you see
across-
this or does it not? Here, let me
A lot of driving.
I didn't see your joke.
uh
It'd be a
No.
joke, but
how do you know it was a joke?
because there is no picture of Bill inside a church. The devil burned the negative. Yes, Bill in the church. There you go.
There's
Well,
Bill in a church.
There's Bill in a church.
I actually think that looks like the old Lutheran church down on
Pembroke.
Pembroke, and you actually went to that church, didn't you?
We went to that church. We were married in that church.
Well, I got to looking around and I found some other pictures of Bill.
Okay,
Oh, gee,
this will be
buddy.
good.
We got Bill in a church.
There you go.
We got Bill with a lurch.
Which one is the lurch?
Then
Yeah.
I thought, well, we should find some more church type pictures.
Yeah,
So I found Bill on a steeple,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then we've got Bill with some people.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very good, David.
And well, we're not
Very
done.
Oh, not done.
oh.
We got
Yeah.
Bill in a manger.
You know,
Oh, my gosh.
I've always wondered if I was sitting next to God incarnate. Bill said he
Oh
was.
no, Bill's in danger.
Bill's
Yeah.
in danger. Yes.
That's one of his weddings.
And that put Bill in a pickle.
Yeah.
David's got such
You
a good
believe
sense of humor.
Yeah.
This is really special. isn't
Is this Bill's birthday or something?
And Bill gets a tickle.
it?
That's hilarious.
Oh, how do you? No, those are neat.
Yeah. David has a lot of free time. It sounds like.
He must. Very good, David.
Very good, David. We give you an A for that, David.
So,
David, A.
so you've seen a picture of Bill in a church,
Yeah,
on a steeple, in a manger,
in a pickle.
in a pickle, getting a tickle.
Danger and pickle refer to as many, many near weddings, I think,
Mm.
back in the days.
Back in the days.
Greg moved away and Bill was floating around.
Yeah.
Greg would have kept you straight, buddy. Greg would have given you some good marriage advice.
No. Yeah, he's a good one to do
None
that.
of us three guys were that great with what we call women, would you say?
No, that's a great picture.
Great picture. Good job, David. None of them
Right.
were puns. None of them were puns.
No, I had a little help finding pictures.
We used to walk across from the church and go to the drugstore.
Dunn's Drugs.
Dunn's drugstore and have a soda there. Even though could have gone uptown to Gus's, we'd go across on Sunday mornings after church. But funny, when we went to military school, church was mandatory, and we found a place in downtown Boonville, Missouri, a drugstore and we'd go after church and have a soda there too.
So the obvious question, David, is why did Bill and Greg have to go to military school?
I was gonna say, so Greg went to military school with you, and did one thing have anything to do with the other, or the fact that the
It was they called it JD, juvenile delinquency. No, I think both parents thought that would be good for you, didn't they?
Yeah.
what did you do that precipitated this? Did you boost a car or
Oh, no, I didn't.
knock over a liquor store?
No,
No, they
no.
they cut a white swath in their high school days. So he sent all the way from Mattoon to Champaign. There were some people locked their houses up at night when their car was in the area. And I think the parents, Monk's a disciplinarian, and Bill Skinner's no nonsense. They thought these boys are good boys. They just need to walk along the edge of a hallway braced with a flat top and have the drill sergeant yelling at them.
We both ended up okay in what we did.
But you probably credit all to military school, don't you?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No demerits.
And did you send your boys to military school?
No, I didn't. I just sent them away.
Send them away?
That was good of you to find
That was funny,
That was
David.
funny.
That was-
And we missed Greg Skinner. I'll tell you, Greg was
Yeah.
one of a kind,
Very special person.
but he was a hard-headed Greek, wasn't he?
Oh, jeez.
Why is this coming back up?
Well, that's Helen Skinner in the upper right-hand corner. It looks like, isn't it? That's Bill Inghart in the lower right-hand corner and Greg Skinner in the
Okay.
middle.
Come here, babe.
My computer was not showing the same screen, so anyway.
That's first or second grade. And I can name some of them. It looks like right next to Greg is Jim Jumbo Allen.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, that's Jim Allen.
Mhm.
And that's Ingo over on the right. And that's
Kenny Culbertson.
Kenny
Oh, yeah.
Culbertson.
You know who that is? That's Jim Henderson from Villa Grove.
Huh.
How he got there, I don't know.
There's Rathbone has a
Yeah, Basil
coming
Rathbone.
out. Has
That's
a-
a little Rathbone. That's a little Rathbone.
Looks like
girl.
Janice Allen, but that's probably the
It
littlest
is
girl.
Janice Allen.
Janice Allen, she's my class.
Looky there.
This is,
There
Oh,
she
that's
is.
Mary Toomey. That's Mark Toomey, her son.
so this is something outside of school. It's not a school thing.
That's Sheila.
Sheila Carlson.
Is this a church thing?
That's
Well-
Bible,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a Bible school in the
And there's
summertime.
Mrs. Ponder in the back. and
No, that's Mrs.
Well,
Allen.
this is another church picture with Bill in it.
You'll
that's
notice
a
that they're
church
outside the
picture.
church again.
Yes, yes. They wouldn't let me in.
So we
It is-
got,
Look at Greg holding his finger.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so they got bottom row left to right is this, Bill said Henderson, and then Jim Jumbo Allen. Tackle on the football team wound up being a commercial airline pilot.
Yes, he
Yeah.
was.
Married a gal from Clark, girl from Arcola. What was her first name?
Bonnie Clark.
Bonnie Clark. Gus married a gal from Arcola. Kenny Culbertson, the great Culbertson family. There's Bill.
Mhm.
Second row, right to left, Sheila Carlson, Mark Toomey, Mary Toomey. You ought to be able to know that girl.
I just don't. I just don't remember.
Back row, third row is Basil Rathbone's daughter. I don't know the second and third. Do you know? Then Janice Allen's the
No.
fourth.
That's Helen Skinner in the back on the right, and then June Allen, Jim Allen's mother.
Did they also move here for the plant? Didn't he work out the plant? Their parents?
Allen's?
Or
I
not?
think he was an electrician, but I don't know if he's a planner at the university, I believe.
Front
Helen
row
Skinner-
looks, the whole front row looks ornery, don't they?
Well, no,
Well, they look like they're candidates for military school.
yeah. David, Helen Skinner in the back, that's Helen Flesser Skinner. That's Gus's daughter.
Helen went to high school, graduate high school with my mother back in
41.
41. Mom always liked Helen a lot.
Enough of me.
Well, for some reason,
Pardon?
my pictures aren't advancing. Let me,
This has been a good day for technology. Took us
yeah,
about
it's
20 minutes to
would
get
have been
online.
let me restart this.
Well, don't start with the Engleharts all over again. I'm sick of it already.
Thanks for sharing the pictures, David.
Yeah, it's like Bill's reward for all these years of toiling away. You have to get your kids to watch this.
I think a couple of them do.
You tell them the will can be changed.
Okay, well, let's try this again.
You're the boss. Oh boy, that's Wayne Utterback, Wayne Huber, Joe Harris, Kurt McDaniel, and Frank Lincoln. Am I right on that?
Well, they got the names right underneath, so
I
Yep.
didn't even see that.
Talk to
Wayne
Jim.
Utterback was that great Utterback. Remember the great Utterback family lived there on East North Central, West North Central. Bob and Wayne and Margaret married Wayne Meyer. Look at young Kurt McDaniel.
Young Kurt McDaniel. Joe was an election judge the other day. I saw him.
Yeah, we did too.
yeah,
What's
he
Frank?
usually does that.
Has Frank got suspenders on or just didn't do his
I
tie?
think that's a new shirt.
Frank was ahead of his time on that shot.
Yeah, he was.
He was state's attorney about then, probably.
He was stylish.
He was stylish. There's Bill's church again. Can you name him, Bill?
That's Bruce Carlson on the far left. That was the preacher or minister at the Presbyterian Church back in the day. That's Robert Sterrett. And next to him is Mrs. Toomey
There's
with the
Mrs.
glasses. Yeah. And
Yeah.
a little bow tie thing. Yeah. That's Mrs.
And
Toomey.
that, we should know that gal.
What do you
Don't know.
still
On
work on
code.
that one?
Well, that gal is one of our classes right there. I'll bet you the third one on the left is familiar.
Bruce graduated when? He was
Bruce was
63.
63, 2 years ahead of me with my sister. Sheila was your class, wasn't she?
Sheila's
Sheila's
my
my
class. Yeah.
Okay, that looks like Donnie Cole married the Ragsdale girl. Greg Wilkes. That's Jim Thompson on the right, isn't it? And is that you again there, third one? I don't know who the third guy is.
You know,
That's back when we had tennis tournaments.
Jeff Thompson played baseball for me.
Did he?
Yeah, he played in high school, and his dad was he came here as a funeral director. Remember, and they ended up owning a few
They bought
furniture store.
They bought Mrs. North,
North's.
J.R. North Furniture
Yeah,
Store.
yeah.
He and his wife.
Jeff was a good kid.
Jeff
good,
was-
good
Jeff-
friends with Jeff Cleveland.
Jeff was a good kid. Okay,
Oh,
there we
boy.
got Morris Gailey, upper right-hand corner, one of the coaches. On the left, looks, is that a Ryan?
That's looks like
Jim Ryan?
Jim Ryan, and then Rocky Reimer standing next to him.
Troy
Troy
Truitt.
Truitt.
They were in the back row. Troy Truitt's the middle back row. And
Looks familiar.
not sure. Next row down left is Reinhardt Phil Rome, Tommy Harris. Not sure, not sure. Bottom, oh, bottom.
That's Larry Henninger there.
Second to the right is Larry Henniger. That was our old football coach there in that second row.
Terry.
Terry Reinhardt, Phil.
I mean, not Terry.
Rick.
Rick Reinhardt.
Phil
It
Rome,
is Phil Rome and Tommy Harris.
Tommy Harris. We ought to know the next guy.
Should. Don't.
And back row, like I say, Rocky Reimer, Troy Truitt, and we should know that guy.
That guy, you've probably got names on this, don't you?
Well, yeah, I didn't get these posted till early this morning.
Oh,
but,
I see.
Bob Gailey says Kenny Ogden, Ted Gailey, Andy Townsend,
In the front row,
Larry.
Henninger.
Okay, he's got a typo there. Steve Hayes, Don Jenkins, Phil Rome, Tom Harris, Troy Truitt, Rocky Reimer, and Jerry Jones says looks like Rick Reinhardt to the right of Phil.
It
Yeah.
is.
Go that first row again.
Kenny Ogden, Ted Gailey, Andy Townsend, Larry Henninger, Steve Hayes.
Next
Steve
two,
Hayes.
next two.
Yeah, he doesn't say he doesn't have them listed. He
What
doesn't
were
say
the
it's in
names?
order. So
What were the next two names though?
Don Jenkins, Phil Rome, and then Tom Harris, Troy Truitt, and Rocky Reimer.
So he doesn't name that guy in the back either.
Mm-mm.
Sometimes people move away and
Looks like a Von Lincoln a little bit.
Danny Matthews says Ron, see Larry Hedinger to the left, Kenny Ogden on the left end. And Danny, he says Steve Hayes, bottom right, front row, question mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
These guys are all class of 69 or 70. This is class of 70, probably.
Looks like a VFW team. We may have some repeats in this week's, but that's okay.
I think he was Chris Hill's class, like in that 70 or 71.
Well,
69 was Jimmy Kleiss and
71
Les
is John
Hall.
Sermon and Larry Ring.
So it's in between.
70 is David Leitz.
I think it's 70 class. That is exchange student, homecoming queen. Where was she from? Lithuania?
Probably. My goodness, what a full dress. We
No.
don't know who that is.
I don't
She's-
either.
Oh, there they go.
Yeah.
There they go.
On the
Right.
left is Eric Fromm. In the middle is Gary Graham. And then who do we know?
The rabbit,
The rabbit.
burrito, cue ball.
Class of 67, Doug McCumber.
That
With
is
his classmates.
Two basketball players and a brain. Eric was
Eric was one sharp kid.
a brain.
that is some shirt, isn't it?
Well, that was big then. The Beatles were coming up, the Stones.
Of course, this was before my
Andrew-
time. I did not recognize Doug.
Yeah, that's Dougie. Had more nicknames than anybody. Cue ball.
Called him a lot of names.
There you go. Here's your teachers. You named-
Well, that's Richard Kidwell and Sherry Prawl.
and the back row is Ron. I forget his first name. Jason.
Jason.
That's Jason.
Jason Ron, a brain. These are smart kids in the back, I think. The third
This
one
is
is
Smith.
Is
That's
this Tim Smith, is he the one that's the
Yes, he
neurosurgeon,
is.
famous neurosurgeon out in Boston?
Yep.
These are
Oh,
brains.
boy, I should know. The one on the end's a Bennett, of course.
We should know the gal. right?
Oh, Jiminy.
Uh,
Well, Gina Mazel.
just a second. He sold country companies insurance. What's his name? Is that his daughter? Played basketball, really good. St. Joe.
I just don't know. I just can't put it together.
Go ahead.
Gina says Jason Ron, Jason Hunt, Tim Smith, Emily Smith, Sarah Bennett.
Emily Smith. I'll be darned.
Emily?
I'll be darned. I
Wow,
wouldn't have
my
got
eyes
that.
Our
one.
head
Those-
turned. I remember Jason Hunt because I remember his sister too.
Yeah. Well, Tim's Tim went out to work years ago, I think, and he went out to Harvard to work on experimental cutting edge brain surgery.
He is,
The guy should be in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, absolutely. He's really accomplished a lot.
Okay, that looks like.
He also ran a touchdown back.
Yeah. Now that's Huber. It looks like what's his
No,
name?
that's not Huber.
Up here, left.
Far left
Oh,
in the
Huber,
background.
yeah.
And that's Albin, Dave Albin.
This
And,
is Jacobs.
yeah.
Is
Is
that Moody? No,
this Ellen K?
I don't know, Mike.
Or
I
trucks?
thought maybe it was Kate's.
Oh, they did have a little serving bar at one time
Buffet,
in the
or
late
salad bar.
80s. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Now there's David Bozarth. The fourth one from the left is David Bozarth. And then in the back row, and that's a
That's
Peanut
Termite Lindsay.
Peanut Lindsay,
Yeah.
Termite Lindsay. The very left is that Kincaid?
That's Doug Dietrich.
Yeah, Doug Dietrich's right next to this Kincaid. No.
No.
There's a Mick. 1, 2, 3. Fourth in the front is Mick. I think it's
Uh-huh.
Steve. I'm not sure. Kalmar is the fifth one.
Uh-huh.
Back row, Termite Lindsay, Dave Bozarth,
Doug Dietrich.
Doug Dietrich. Not sure.
Huh.
Not sure. Last two.
Bitty basketball trophies.
Okay.
Is that Steve Sanderson?
Could be Steve Sanderson. The second from the left on the front row.
Okay, between Marlena Schaefer and Marcy Shoemaker, we got front row, Denny Long, Steve Sanderson, Dan Crossman, Steve Mick, John Kalmar. Back row, Greg Lindsay, David Bozarth, Doug Dietrich, Tom Inslee, and then Marlena says possibly Tom Timmons. Marcy says is the far right and back Jerry Fry? Question mark.
Doesn't look like Jerry.
Denny Long was my neighbor, good kid.
Yeah, we should have known Denny.
Yeah, well, his eyes are shut. You can't sometimes.
We need to see the color of their eyes
Yeah,
before we can fire.
got Sanderson, right? Termite.
Because that was the problem.
Yeah, it's black and white throws Bill and I off.
Yeah.
Well,
No, that's a Martin. It's a Chapel Martin. In
Yeah,
the
I
back,
recognize the
Mike
front
Chappell,
left, Mike Chappell.
Mike Chapel.
his lower left.
We've got a Martin. I think is that a Pickens?
Lower left, yeah.
God, I can't think of this girl. In the back's Joe Randall and Bobby Downs. And that's Becky Wetzel in the
Yeah,
background.
that sure
too.
is. That sure is.
And the boy looks awfully familiar. This
Could
would have been during my time.
have been Pickens, couldn't it? Doug.
Carrie Pickens was the girl, I thought, but I might be wrong. And I should know the girl in the right, but I'm just brain dead right now.
Well, Tammy Dolman says back row left to right. Doug Anderson, Becky Wetzel, Robert Downs, James Randall. Front row, Mike Chappell, Stacy Martin, Amanda Lee, Meredith Laporte, and then in parentheses, Cole.
Meredith Cole.
Hmm.
Huh. By the way, the Anderson boy was a real good, as was Becky Wetzel, a good long distance runner.
Yeah, I watched her run in high school. She was tough. Good athlete.
He was tough. It was same one, I think.
Okay, there's Kay Kleiss' science class with Jason Ron, who was a brain.
Jason Ron, Matt Washburn, Smith
Smith.
again.
There's some smart kids here.
That's Doug Knopf's,
then Mitchner,
that's Scott Mitchner,
and there's
Regina
Reg-
O'Brien,
Regina O'Brien, Tom O'Brien's daughter.
who became a Air Force pilot.
Trying to get this up so we can see who's there.
According to Gina Mazel, that's
Russell.
Meisel, that's Brent Washburn, not Matt.
Well, that's a younger one.
No, Brent. Okay.
Missy Chapel, the lower left.
John Sigwin,
Don Sigwin
don't know. Elizabeth Spomer,
and Smith.
Smith.
Smith kids were all pretty sharp.
Sounds like you got most of them. The names we've got are, of course, Kay Kleiss, Standing, Jason Ron, Brent Washburn, Tim Smith, Doug Knopf, Scott Mitchner, Gina O'Brien, and Toby Russell.
Toby, not Travis. God, Travis' younger brother.
And kneeling, Missy Chapel, John Seguin, Amy Cottle, Elizabeth Spomer, and Emily Smith. She said this is the Jets team. 90 and 91.
Well, it's about 35 years ago. No wonder.
Got some smart cookies there.
Good kids. There were some good kids there. I had Scott in fifth grade. John Seguin's a lawyer in Washington, D.C.
Looks like Mitchner's wearing his underwear on the outside.
He is.
Well,
He got up
did,
late.
He did.
Alan let him sleep in as long as he wanted.
Well, his dad was somewhat like that.
Yeah, his dad wore underwear to class.
Yeah. Oh, how cute.
This is the Hugo National Honor Society. That looks like Ronnie Joe Wynn, second from the right.
Yeah, and the tall girl back there looks like Katrina
Katrina Ross.
Ross.
Those are wild guesses.
Well, Jennifer Benders has three names. Says Tammy Midstarfer, Susanna Ross, Jody Hahn, and Amy Seibel said I think it's Sherry Winans behind Tammy Midstarfer.
Susanna, the younger Ross.
Boy, I tell you what.
Who's the blonde-haired boy?
I don't know.
Looks like Ronnie Joe Wynn.
I would, when I initially looked at that, I thought of Susanna, but I knew it was a Ross, but Tammy Midstarfer, that fooled me totally.
So you thought it was Susanna, so you yelled out Katrina?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why you went to military school.
Well, sometimes you yelled the wrong thing.
Really?
I think this was taken in my office.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
desk is still there.
They got their names.
Would have been Bob Hastings' office at the time.
Bob's got the elephant there. Oh, there's
Jiminy.
Larry Stumeyer, Melinda Dorkson, John Basinski.
We were on TV.
Yeah, that's when
Today Show or something.
yeah, Doug called everybody in town to get out.
Good Morning America.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I took this picture from the fire truck bucket, ladder truck.
Yeah. I'm in there somewhere. Look for a shiny head. That's the
You
mayor.
know, I do see
the mayor.
There's Ann Hilgendorf.
And Hilgendorf there standing up, the big ones.
Glory Hill. Golly, this is fun.
Jim Basinski back there, the 17th one.
Did we take the
Fred Cartwright. I see
kids
Fred.
up from
Fred-
school?
There's
Rick-
Donna Jolly and toward the back.
Yeah, Donna Jolly's back there.
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
Carter Plum. I see
It
Carter Plum.
almost
Marcy
kind of looks
Lee.
like Dave Lohr there on the right, doesn't it?
No, that's Bob Reese back there in the upper left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Carter Phillips right there. Went right by Carter Phillips.
There's Summer Phillips.
Summer Phillips.
Donnie Miller's down there at the bottom right. I
Yeah,
see
Yeah,
him.
Donnie Miller. Argyle Foxworth is over there.
Argyle Foxworth.
Well, you never knew him.
No, I didn't.
You were in
I
detention.
missed him.
You were in detention when he was there in
Detention when I
town.
heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, you were in detention.
Oh, how neat.
Slide it left, we'll get more of them.
What was that program? Was it Good Morning America?
Good Morning America.
Yeah,
What year is this? Do you know?
that was 70s.
I don't know. It had to be in the 80s. That's a chapel there.
Mike Chappell.
Yeah.
Mike or his brother.
There's
Don't know if Judy Stroll's behind him.
no, but that's a her.
Hmm? Oh, Kelly Huser,
Yeah, Kelly User.
maybe.
All these boys are wearing the same hat.
Yeah,
We gave him away. That is really neat. There's Cindy Ring holding Kara. Oh my God, that's funny.
Mrs. Stasser's class.
Oh, six. Hey, you know what? Where's Mr. Englehart's class? I would have been teaching sixth grade then. Where am I?
well, how old is Kara Ring? We'll figure out when this was. How old's Kara? You think, huh?
I don't know.
50?
Hold still. Just a sec. I thought for a second I saw someone, but no, I didn't. Best part about being in a small town, sometimes, did you see that sign, Pete and Jeanette? That's
Yeah.
Kelsey's
I know.
in Florida.
Hi, Pete. Who's holding it up? We ought to go back over and see who's holding up the Pete and Jeanette sign.
Couldn't see.
Slide over there a little bit. Zero in a little bit. Go down a little bit.
Can't see.
Can't tell
That'd be
who's holding the sign.
One of the workers, lobbying for a little raise, just 50 cents maybe an hour. Okay, good shot. That was a Dave Porter shot. When did you shoot that, David?
Well, I worked for the Review between 84 and 1990.
So I'd say that's probably when that happened.
Yeah, probably in that time frame.
That wouldn't be Kelly Huser then.
Okay, there's the Staler twins at the top, Mike and Mark.
On either end was
On either end.
Brian Harris in the middle.
Brian Harris in the middle. And
Tracy Murphy's in the front row in the middle, and that's David Henderson.
David
on his
Henderson,
left.
lower right, our right, lower
Yeah.
right. David,
That's Lance Vangle with the Cardinal shirt on. That's Bill Vangle's boy.
that's the Fangs son.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Ron next
That's
to
a
him?
Ron next to him. Oh, that's Josh Oakes
Mhm.
on the far left on the front row. Don't know. How'd we do?
Well, you got quite a few of them. Amy Seibold says front row, Josh Oakes, Tracy Murphy, David Henderson, middle row, Doug Foltz, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Question. Let's see. Jason Ron, Lance Vangle, question mark. Of course, Dave Henderson. Lisa Schultz says Ryan Schultz, middle right. See what
That's
else.
what, about 84? Your
Amy,
class?
yeah, Amy Seibold next to Lance is one of the Schultz boys. So quite a few names, quite a few comments on that picture.
So the Staler boys were 83, 84,
They were 83.
83.
Henderson graduated in 93.
And Harris was 83. He's a Hall of Famer.
He was 10 years younger than them at the time.
Yeah.
Played for Vankel, I know. I mean, for Biennis.
He
Bills last year.
played football for
Larry Biennis.
Connie Joe Lewis says it's Mike Staler on the left, Mark Staler on the right.
Caleb played for Winky.
He did. Biennis left. Yeah.
Which
Dave-
He played
probably
for
right.
He was a year older than Caleb and played with Caleb,
I was offensive coordinator when Dave.
basketball and football.
Yeah. We'll have to check when he graduated.
Graduated in
somebody-
93.
There's somebody driving into Williams Cafe when you're not supposed to.
Graduated in 92. He was a senior when Caleb was sophomore. What's this?
Yeah, he played for Biennis when he left. That's somebody tried to drive in Bruce Williams to get he tried to beat the early bird special.
Hmm.
Yeah, I include this picture because it's a
He
cool
drove into
picture of
town.
how downtown used to have an awning all the way
Yeah.
down the street and had the names of the businesses hanging
Yeah.
from the awning.
Yeah,
And how some of us used to pull right up to the building and block
Yeah,
the
he used to
side.
pull right up and
Yeah, that was called an accident.
jumped the curb. So you got Fletcher's over here on the right, and then the 5 and
dime
9.
store.
You almost forget. I remember Williams Cafe, but there's Patty's Studio
Mm-hmm.
at Campbell's. And
Pat Phillips.
where was the door to Jake's Pool Hall from
Pretty
that?
close to this.
Mhm.
And Gamble's. Of course, Gamble's moved to
across
the
the
other side
street.
of the street at some point.
Yeah.
Mhm. You didn't want to
Business-
walk out of the pool hall into daylight because it blinded you.
Yeah, business is better on the south side, some of them said. Then they jump over to the north side. Warren Smith jumped to the north side. Gamble's jumped to the south side. A lot of jockeying. That looks like I'm guessing that's a 76 team.
Back row, all the way on the left is Tom Weimer, then Kobe Decker.
That's a later one then.
Looks like a Bosch, maybe
Gosh.
73.
Todd,
Mm-hmm. 89's a Hunt. Brian.
Had to be
89.
Brian, wouldn't be Brad.
Brian Hunt. So this has got to be
these are days of the hair.
uh,
79 in the front rows of
Cool.
Gangloff.
83 is Steve Kalmar, quarterback.
Moody, number 5.
Yeah, Rick Moody.
Rick Moody, defensive back. This is
Laley, 21. Maybe.
well, Bob or Steve or
70s are from.
54 looks like Ed Brannick, maybe.
mm-hmm. Yeah, go back the other way a little bit.
They all change.
25 is 25 Tony Hausman. 83 Steve Kalmar. Oh, there's a Eaton. 54 is the Chris Eaton.
Oh, 77's Chunk. Greg Campbell.
Chuck
Or, I
Campbell.
mean,
Greg or Chuck.
Greg Campbell. Yeah.
39. Is this
50 looks like Beto.
well, it can't be. Beto was 83. This is like the
It looks like him.
was this 79 class?
Well, probably because Chunk
That's
was Chunk was a senior when I was a freshman.
he graduated in 80. 32 is one of the Eastons.
So it's 79 or 80. I think they played football in 79, I think. The basketball team went to the Sweet 16 that year, I think.
A lot of them look familiar to me, but
They were probably freshmen when you were, or they were seniors when you were a freshman.
yeah, some of these were seniors when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
Let's see. Randy Dodson says Chris Eaton, 54.
Yep, we got him.
Shauna Bosch says Todd Bosch, Phil Bosch.
73.
Let's see.
By the way, a shout out to Brandy Eaton Dodson. They had a nice fundraiser for the other night at the Moose, and certainly wish her well.
Brad
Yeah.
Taylor says that's him, number 65. Brad Taylor. Brad Taylor,
Was funny. No, we didn't get him.
65. Trying to see. Oh, that'd be third from the right on the back. And Dick Laley, second row, third from right.
That was Dick. Yeah, because Steve played in 76, 77. And Bob was a year later. So that was the youngest of the boys, I think. Youngest of the Laley boys. Okay. There's a Colbecker in the back right, upright.
That's Diane Kobecker.
And
Oh, gosh. I recognize the girl
Oh,
in the
that's your-
bottom row
that-
right.
that's your lovely wife, bottom right.
Jenny just doesn't change.
No, no,
Just
she
get
always
her
winds up,
looking.
she always wind up blonde and top of her class.
These are
That's
all class of 83.
Bruce Bird in the back. Is that him?
Second one,
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
third one is
hang on. Gosh, this girl over here is so familiar, and this girl's here is
the
Jiminy.
upper one end from the right. Is that Dee Dee Hole?
Yes. Dee Dee
Hawthorne?
Colored Hole.
That's Dee Dee.
Yep.
Yeah. And the tall guy, is that Moss?
Nope. It's Mark Scott.
Okay.
And top left is Barb Cavanaugh.
David's sister.
Hmm?
David Porter's sister?
David,
A different name.
David
David
Cavanaugh.
Cavanaugh's sister.
We
Yeah,
just
not my sister. She's my freshman homecoming date.
Oh,
Well,
there
you know,
go.
that
You
goes-
were doing
that-
all right.
That was going around back then.
Hey,
Who's on the first row then?
Well, I know all of these, and I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't remember them.
They're your classmates.
The second one is Susan Boyce.
okay.
Right. Lived up near the
Boys,
Isdale
yeah, they
Isdale
lived in the
Road,
country. I had her brother.
up north in the Isdale Road. He worked at the U of
Next
I.
to Jenny, who is that?
She
Well,
looks,
We need Jenny here.
I'm not certain if I say who I think it is, I'll get in trouble if I'm wrong and won't hear the end.
Bill and I are sitting here making
We're
fools of
saying,
ourselves.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
idiots
making,
every
we're-
time we do
we're
Yeah,
this.
we'll move on to the next picture.
boy, David really got off that, didn't
Yeah,
he?
you,
Boy, the chicken, you
let's
chicken.
go to somewhere else.
David goes, brave men run in my family about 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, the little girl, let's see, second in on the right is Becky Dorsey.
Who's got the sunshade hat on?
It's pretty hard to tell, isn't it? They're carrying an egg.
It's the old egg thing. There's the Sears owned by Joyce Lewis. I think she started out with her sister, didn't she, or not?
I don't know. I've forgotten.
Lori Ann Berger on the far right. And Rhonda Fair thinks it's Becky Bryant next to her. Says
Well,
it's-
Becky Bryant is Becky Dorsey. See, I don't know these married names.
Women should not change their name. Do you agree with that?
Copy Moody says looks like Kirk a little, but Kirk would be older, I think.
Next,
Stephanie Taylor, far left, question mark.
oh, Stephanie, I had in school, but I can't see her there. Possibly that could be Stephanie.
And Shanna Gordy Lamb says, I see Stephanie Taylor, Kurt Von Lanken, a Bowen, Tracy or Terry, Angie and Andy Kingery, Becky Dorsey, Lori Fuentes, question mark.
Oh, that's Andy Kingery's 32. That's Kenny's boy.
Kurt Von Lanken must be the right in front of the tall guy in the back. Might be Kurt.
He is, I believe,
That'd be my brother Matt's class.
Baker's optometry
Mhm.
next to the Sears.
Well, there's my class. I'd better get them all.
I hope.
Let me scoot this over.
We had this last week, didn't we?
I was in the last week. Top row is Danny Russell, Cindy, Claire, and Bob Rogers. They got married. Cindy and Bob got married. Goose, Sharon Leitz, Patty Graham, Stan McMorris, and Ferguson Monahan. Let me keep going. You want to name next row?
Well, Tom McDaniel on the left, next to Sharon Rose, Sharon Cappy. Then we have, can't tell, Mike.
Okay, keep going.
Bill Carson, then married Grimm,
Barbara Weber,
Barbara Weber, and then this
Ron-
can't be honor roll.
Ron Dick.
That's right. This can't be honor
The
roll.
girl you miss is Pam Preston. Third one in from the left is Pamela Preston. She sells real estate in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
That doesn't look like Pam.
That's Pam. Bottom row, lower left is Mike Connor, Kathy Breen Kleiss, good old Paul Reinhardt,
Mary
Toomey, Denny Obrick,
Mhm.
uh,
Porter.
no.
It isn't?
no,
Dumas.
Dumas. And then on the
Debbie?
lower, Debbie Dumas, I think. Lower right is Roe Davis.
Oh,
Roy Davis. His
Oh,
dad was
Ro.
the principal. His mom, Tommy, is still kicking and cooking Italian food. Roe's down in Southern Illinois, living out in the woods, playing the banjo.
Roy's a good guy.
Roy's a great guy. All of them are good. I mean, this after all is class 65, greatest class alive.
Yeah, there you go.
Tom McDaniel, there we go. Here's Doug's class. This is class 67. Go ahead.
Oh, back row, assistant coach, Bill Burris, Kevin Ryan, Ox Brown, Dave Brown, Chuck Holmes,
Gomer Holmes.
the Big Dipper, Mark Sipe, Gary Graham, Bob Arnold. Front row you do.
Dana Bishop, who we both love dearly, Tom McCumber, Doug McCumber, J. Patrick Keene, Chuck Nader, and
Steve Leonard.
Steve Leonard. Now that team was tall. I think
That was a big group of guys.
I think Sipe was 6'8", and Gomer was 6'6", I think, or 6'7".
Well, at that time, see, Gomer was going to be he was just sophomore. He and Leonard and Ox were just sophomores.
Right. Well, I think Dave Brown was a sophomore too.
He was.
Dana was, the sad thing, really sad thing, the front row, 4 of the 6 have passed away.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
Good basketball team.
Keno wound up being the captain of the U of I golf team, playing on the Asian Golf Pro Tour. He's our best golfer. Bill and I had a real hard time beating him, but we used to beat him like a drum.
Yeah, no problem.
There's Doug's First National Bank annual photo. You want to name him?
No.
Okay. On the right's Roy Hopkins. Next one is
that's why I didn't name him.
well, I'll name in a minute. We'll go back to her. There's Gensler. There's the Bean, Ron Bean's late
Judy?
wife, Judy.
Which side are you on?
Right here. That's Judy.
Oh, that's Judy, and then
That's-
Debbie Jacobs.
That's Daniels. Roy Hopkins, Daniels, Judy Daniels.
Oh, Edie Daniels
Edie Daniels. I think it's
or Judy.
Judy. I think it's Judy.
Might be Judy. You're
Not
right.
sure.
Don't know.
Fourth one, 1, 2, 3.
That's Debbie Jacobs.
Debbie Jacobs, Debbie Gensler,
That's
Bean,
Judy.
Judy Bean, not sure. Juanita Brace, and Larry Williams' daughter that married, who'd she marry?
Don't know. Larry Williams' daughter?
Yeah, he had a boy and a girl. I think that's his
Don't
daughter.
know. That was a gal that was married to Jim Grimm. I
That's Jim
think.
Graham's ex-wife. Forget her name. Don't know. Earl the Pearl.
Earl
Pendergrass.
Pendergrass. Good, great guy. I liked him a lot.
Good guy. And there, of course, there's Doug up in the upper right-hand corner. Not sure who this is. We should know this right here next to Doug. That was the old First National Bank. Oh, boy.
This is a local Hells Angels club.
This is the Easy Striders. This is ABC. That's the Hunt of Hunt and Chapel Construction. What was his?
Jim Hunt,
Jim Hunt.
Daryl Ford, Roy Snyder, Tom Stewart.
No, that's
Tom,
Betzel.
then
You sure that's not Betzel?
Yeah, that's Betzel, and then Tom Stewart.
Right,
and then
Betzel's the
Shorts.
fourth one. And then Tommy Stewart.
Then Dowd, Wayne Dowd.
Who's in between? Who's that behind Dowd?
Oh, Burris's buddy. Can't remember his name. Look at Vuk's sideburns in the
Vuk,
cap.
Vuk and the sideburns. He was city councilman at the time, I think. Who's sitting in the car there?
Can't tell.
That the guy that shot Kennedy?
Might be.
I'd say that's ABC.
I would too.
Dave Snyder says, from left, Jim Hunt, Daryl Ford, Glenn Smith, question mark, Tom Stewart, Wayne Dowd, Gene Cornell behind Wayne.
Gene Cornell.
He doesn't know after that.
Where do you have Glenn Smith at?
Where do you have Glenn Smith?
That's the Snyder, and that's
1, 2, 3, third from the left. He had a question mark, so he wasn't sure.
that's his dad.
Third from his left. But the fourth from the left
It's Bill Betzel.
is Betzel.
Okay.
Isn't that Snyder? Third from the left?
Yeah, it's Roy Snyder.
I don't think Glenn's in this picture.
Well, maybe not.
Don't see him. Pretty recognizable guy.
Daryl Ford says Jim Hunt, Daryl Ford, Roy Snyder, Bob Rose, Tom Stewart, Gene Cornell, Wayne Dowd, and doesn't know the others to the left or to the right.
I don't think that's Bob Rose. It could be, but it sure looks like Bill Betzel. Could be Bob Rose, but I don't think so. I don't know if Bob wore glasses, did he?
I believe he did. That could very well be Bob Rose,
Yeah.
I suppose.
We're coin flip between Bill Betzel and Bob Rose. Don't know the two guys. Oh, this, of course, is Jack Wellens.
Bill Roach on the right.
Bob, and that's Stan and McMorris's dad, Bud McMorris, State Farm Insurance, I believe. You think that's Bud McMorris?
I don't know. He was pretty short.
I'm gonna put my nickel on Bud McMorris in the middle.
Funny picture.
This is okay. Now we got far bottom right. This is like the Chamber of Commerce. Bottom right is
Edwards.
George Edwards, owned the old First National Bank. Lee, wonderful Lee Allison, of course. Everybody loved Bill McCarty.
Blanche
Duval. And on the far left is Oliver Glenn, lower left. I think he was head of the Silco gas company.
That's Mrs. North.
That's Mrs. J.R. North next to him. This is Chamber of Commerce, I think. Denny Dietrich, Bill Rogers. Not sure with the
Slutsky.
And you're going from the right on that.
On the right.
Dick Mean.
Richard Bean, Paige Harris. Not sure. Far left's Frank Mitchner. Well, we got a couple we're not sure of next to him.
Bill McCarty got dressed up for the picture.
Bill dressed up. Bill,
Yeah.
Who are the two? Who's in between Paige Harris and Frank Mitchner? Do you know? Have names?
No.
I think this is Chamber.
We said the community building. You can tell that.
Wendy Ron, Carl Court, and Bob Wyatt. And these guys were seniors in 60. Bob would have been Bob graduated in 63. He'd been a sophomore. This was the forwards in the center. Wendy, last I heard, sold insurance in Carmel, Indiana. Carl was president of everything, vice president of Eastman Kodak, president of Furman University, and then director of Bechtel Research Institute in Ohio, famous research. These are all brains, by the way. Great athletes and brains. Bob Wyatt was a brain and wound up being an executive for DuPont, Dow or DuPont out in
one or the other.
Maryland, I forget. One of the major chemical companies.
Bob was a really nice guy.
These were the old Renaissance guys, could do everything. Great athletes, great scholars, and just great guys. Really, they're probably all SAR winners.
Gordon Cleland, state police on the right, wanting to shake this man's hand.
And the guy refuses to shake Gordo's hand.
And he says, nah.
Not yours.
I think that guy's retiring, but I don't know who it is.
He doesn't want to quit. They forced him out.
They did,
He couldn't run 100 yards
Right.
real fast.
right.
Same thing happened to me.
Bob was good friends with Gordon.
Mike
too.
Rogers there.
We did this picture.
We did this a long
Yeah,
time ago.
did we do this one?
This is Julie and Christy Bean with their mother Colleen and Mike Rogers.
Yeah, sometimes I,
Christy had just got a check to give to her dad so he could buy food.
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes I'll scan negatives and then I come across a print and don't
It's
remember.
okay to
that I-
do them once. In fact, you can do every day you can run a copy of Bill Nearer in a church
Mhm.
to drive home the theory. Looks like Mike Meyer or Phil Meyer, Danny Meyer.
Close enough.
Well, Phil, he is. Did you ever ask him if he ever goes by Phil? Daniel Philip Meyer.
He said that got started when he worked for Dan Ponder because there's too many Dans and
Phil's a good name.
started calling him Phil, which is his middle name and also his son's name.
Daniel Philip Meyer.
But yeah, you can recognize that smile from a
That
mile
is not
away.
his. That is not his Fund tractor, whatever you call that. German.
No, his tractor's a little bigger than that.
And that building's about ready to fall down on him. The old corn crib. Who's that in his seat? Is that Phil or is that the older son?
I don't-
David.
It might be David.
Could be, but I don't know how old Dan is in this picture, so I don't know what
His
year.
freshman year.
So
You're
maybe-
nice.
Our boys had to work. Well, I think he's married to Dean at the time. Oh, here we go. I know second row from the left is Lamb Reader, Lynette Reader. Second row on the left. And looks like third one in on the bottom, it looks like a Smith.
You know, all I have here is Danny Matthews tag Rebecca Daly.
I just,
That's
I think the girl holding the gun is Lynette Lamb, now Reader, I believe.
some of them look familiar, but I'm not sure.
There's an exercise in aerobics, power sleeping.
Clint, the boy sitting on the desk with his arm bent, hand on his face is Clint Cronig, I believe. Oh man, I should know these guys.
Kelly Schultz says, I see Dustin Hawkins in the middle and might be Caitlin Lohr laying on the floor.
Well, didn't you teach sixth grade? And then they come up through you? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, this could be at Northward. This could be fourth, fifth grade before I got a hold of them.
Well, it looks like a wooden floor, which would
Yeah.
indicate North Ward.
And the boards look like Northward. Yeah. And the desk do as well.
Good desk. You
Yeah.
couldn't break those desks.
No, you couldn't. No, I don't know, David. The kid with the black, oh God, there's a crew.
Hey, now we got ourselves some pool shooters right here.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
this is our pool group right here.
this,
This is Wayne Neal, the postman, telling these guys he'll promise to take their photos off the wall if they'll join the Peace Corps.
that's the boy with the leather jacket, veteran of the Vietnam.
Tunnel rat.
Tunnel rat.
Tunnel rat.
That's Roger Kelly.
Roger Kelly. We could beat him in pool. The next guy we had trouble beating,
That guy was tough. That's Harold Konar.
but we could do it.
Yeah.
And that is,
Chapman? Steve Chapman?
well,
Kind of looks like him, doesn't it?
yeah, not
Julie
sure.
Doherty says Wes Gould.
I
No,
don't
that's
think
not
that.
Wes.
Not the guy that used to beat me up.
Wes is taller.
I don't know. Could be Wes, but it doesn't look like Wes.
Doesn't look like Wes.
Look at
Wayne
Howard.
seated.
Howard looks good and happy.
Howard-
Howard looks good and
Howard
happy.
thinks that he thinks Wayne Neal signed his papers to get out of school.
Yeah. Roger got, like I say, went to Nam. I'll tell you, those guys that were tunnel rats, I get claustrophobia just walking in a house and closing the door. I can't imagine those guys being let down those tunnels with ropes on their legs. Can you? Oh,
They told
man.
me that when he died, he was over in the Cape and he was fishing. He just laid down by wherever he was.
Yeah,
He just died.
I think it took a toll on Raj. I talked to him later in life, and
Oh, man.
he was not the same Raj we knew in high school.
Boy, he was.
Great guys,
He
weren't they?
teased me unmercifully and I couldn't catch him. Great runner in track, as I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, they were great.
He was quick.
Bill and I have said it 100 times before. Probably one of the best subgroups we ever belonged to was the Pool Hall gang.
That's it. But that
Who is
doesn't
it?
look like Wes.
No, I don't think it's Wes, but I'm not sure Steve Chapman either. That's Sylvia, and not Sylvia. That's,
Cheryl.
no, it's
It's a Wellborn.
she's a Wellborn girl. It's the one that married Jim Ploger up in Champaign. Jan Charneski, Allison
Mhm.
Seed, Baird, Donna Baird, and Jane
On a
Rothgad.
beard.
Beard. Becky's always correcting me.
Yeah.
Wellborn is Geraldine.
There you
Gerald,
go.
Gerald, Gerald
She was the
Wellborn.
oldest, wasn't she?
No, Charlotte was the oldest.
Charlotte was the old.
Gerald
That's
was
right.
the-
Charlotte would be the oldest
Yeah,
because
Geraldine was a great singer. All of them, in fact.
these girls are now 80. God, I can't believe Jane Ruff.
Beard, is it Beard or Beard, you say? Beard? Beard or Beard?
Beard.
Beard and
Baird's
Wellborn were great singers.
Baird.
Beard and Wellborn were great singers. I remember them singing a lot.
But those are the names that Mary Knight has.
Yeah,
Mary would know. She's in the class.
that's her class.
Class of 62, it says.
Yep.
Yeah, boy.
Well, that's Cleiss, Christy Townsend Cleiss. That's Tuscola.
That's standing next to her is Doug, not Doug, Scott Brewer. Is that the Williams boy?
Looks like him. Looks like.
Jack Williams'
Jack
son
Williams'
on
son.
the far
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
That
So
may be Moran standing next to Scott Brewer. But I can't tell the others.
Mhm.
Harry Jones says Jim French, third from left, but Gary French says, sorry, Kerry, that one is too good looking to be Jim.
Well, there's a veto.
And Greg Higgins says Greg Weaver, Phil Weaver, Jim French, Scott Brewer, Christy Cleiss, Townsend, question mark, Don Williams.
Oh, I got Don Williams right.
Who's the guy?
I don't know who the guy is, but Greg, we have a cross country award at Tuscola High School, a memorial scholarship in memory of Greg Weaver.
Yeah, when I was state's attorney, he was killed in a head-on collision right on top of the overpass. Deadly old overpass. Good kid, great kid. And that's when they named it after him, wasn't it? After
I
that.
think. Look like a bunch of outlaws to
Well, this
me.
looks like Dave Brown again down here. I don't know if that is.
No, that's Daryl Rich.
Oh, that's this Darrell Ridge. You're right.
Yeah.
So this has been during Burris's, let me think.
Yeah, I just can't.
Who played with Darrell?
No one. Daryl shot the ball.
Well, Darrell could score, buddy. Let's think of some of those names. Come on.
I've got
Aye.
names when you're done guessing.
This guy, is he a
Yeah.
golfer? Golf pro? Danny,
I can't.
Danny. He worked up at Lake of the Woods part-time. Dan, good golfer.
I'm Mike, I can't think of it.
Can't think of his last name right now.
Okay, Terry Mulligan says back row, Doug Wade, Dan Kane,
And Kane.
Brian Wood, Craig Dixon, Chris Little, Kirk Rich, Terry Mulligan. Front row,
Yes, Terry.
Game of
front
lawyer.
row, Virgil Watts, John Garrett, Dave McCrory, Don Williams, Daryl Rich, Jeff Oakley.
Wow,
Good old John. There's John Garrett.
some good ball players in there.
Daryl was a great ball player. I think
I see Daryl referee. He referees basketball games.
he's in great
now.
shape,
He's a
isn't
good
he?
ref. Oh man, he looks terrific.
Works out. I haven't seen Kurt in a
Great
long
shape.
time.
Kirk used to throw shot put.
Strong as a bull.
I haven't seen Chris. He's getting ready to farm. I saw Terry the other day, spoke to him at the grocery.
Terry wound up being a lawyer and out in the West Coast. I think
loves to play golf.
Seattle.
I saw Chris at the FFA alumni dinner. I didn't get a chance to talk to him. Don't really know him that well, but I saw him and his wife there. Andrew Huber says, Chris Little be like, do I have to pose for this photo with this dinky trophy I could crush with my left hand?
Yeah. Terry Mulligan wound up being a defense lawyer, and I think he told me like 15 death cases as a defense lawyer and was a very good attorney. And now I think he really loves retirement and playing golf.
He's happy to be back in Tuscola. Virgil Watts did.
I think he is.
Yeah, been a long time.
Long time his grave's still got a lot of stuff around it, unlike ours will.
Mm.
Oh, that's Harry Forster and his 1960 basketball team.
Wow.
That Jim Polig, left to right, Harry Forster, who coached Quincy College to either the victory or
He's in the Hall of Fame at Quincy College.
he got either one or second one, the NIAI. Jim Polig, Kurt Turner,
It's a Lloyd.
Lloyd, Wendy Ron, Carl
Court.
Court, Vukolich, and there's Gene Murray. Look at
Boy,
that
look at
tie.
that.
Look at that tie.
Man, he spiffed up. got
Bottom
on the
row,
top
left to
coat.
right, is the great Dave Thody, about 5'6", probably one of the best basketball players of all time. Lives out in
He was tough.
St. George's out in Nevada. Tommy Harris, Jimmy Wall, Ronnie Wall's older brother.
His grandson pitched last night. Jacob did a nice job in the baseball game,
Yeah.
even though we lost.
Steve Allison,
Allison.
Jim Mann, and Jim Fortney.
Jim Fortney was a good basketball
Yes, he
player.
was a good basketball player. Yes, he was a good basketball player. That's a great group of guys.
Yeah, I
Great.
watched those guys when I was
I did
younger. I
eighth
liked
grade.
them. Yeah,
I watched them.
man, they were.
Eighth grade, I was in the end zone when they tied Newman for the Oklahoma championship in football. 7-7, I think, or 6-6. That's when Newman had Hendershot. Fullback went on to
Larry
Arizona State,
Hendershot,
played
yeah.
played pro football, set the
Larry
record in
Hendershot.
shot put. Larry Hendershot.
I want to tell you, back in those days, now that's when Murray. None of these guys were all smart enough not to smart off to Murray. Right?
Hey, you didn't mess with
Oh man,
you didn't mess with Harry Forster
That's-
either.
No, you didn't. Harry was.
Harry would take you on.
Harry.
Well, these were big guys because, Gene Murray was coaching when I was in school, and he was a pretty big guy. And
Oh yeah.
Court was six.
Forster's a lot bigger than he is.
Court was 6'2" or 3. I think Wendy was
Yeah.
6'1" or 2, and John Lloyd, it was about 6'5" or 6. Little Davey Thody here is a great story now.
Dave Thody was really a good ball
Dave
player.
Thody, just a great guy. And is that the name of the town out there? St. George's, Nevada? Last I heard, he's living out there. Tommy Mercer passed away down in Texas, went back down to Texas where his mom and his sister were at. Is that right? Had cancer,
Mhm.
died in.
Next.
Well, this looks like, see if I can recognize anybody. This looks like an adult. I don't think this is high school.
Bottom row,
Oh, yeah,
second
Boyd
in,
Wiesner.
that's Boyd Wiesner.
Lloyd Wiesner. Looks like an alum group. I know the guy, the second from the right, we know, but I can't think of his name.
You know what? These guys were playing.
This
You
is a,
think of
this is
football or
baseball. This is
baseball?
baseball. This is baseball. Boyd was a good
I'll
player.
be darned.
Let's see if we can get anybody back there in the back.
The one guy's jersey says Gates Seed instead of Tuscola.
Yeah, this is, he snuck in for the photo.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get that top row there for you, Bill.
He had his shirt on backwards.
Mhm.
Seriously, I bet money he had his shirt on backwards.
Okay, let's see if we can recognize these guys on the right.
Just out of curiosity, you have any names on this?
No.
This looks like a 50s, late 40s or 50s,
Oh,
late
I
40s.
think it's before that. Let's see. Boyd Wiesner graduated in the mid-30s or so.
Yeah, but this is an adult.
Yeah, it's an adult team, so not over, might be the year, anywhere from 1935 to 1950 at best.
It's a Pettit photo.
I would say it's in the 40s.
Yeah, Pettit was a great photographer, and these are,
Boyd's hair was receding.
we should, that third guy from the left, I know, but I can't. And the second
What?
from the right, I've seen photos of him
Yeah,
all over. Is
I
that
would-
Lamb? Is that Lamb? That's Lamb, I think.
You mean Brookside?
No.
Oh, you mean
Plumbing.
Rich?
That's Rich Lamb, I think, second from right.
You know what? I suppose anything's possible.
Well, I think I've seen a photo of him in high school.
He was
yearbook.
tall.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen that one.
Saw
That's
that one.
Back to the, do we have any more of Bill in a church?
That's all.
That's all.
Oh, there were some great photos there.
Good photos.
It was real slow going through the Englehart thing, but it really picked up there when you got into these.
I like the one on the steeple sideways.
Well, that's the way you're going to heaven, I think. You're not going in the front door, I'll tell you that.
Horizontal.
You're not going in the front door. You're gonna slide in the basement window. We'll just kind of stick you in. Good job, David. Who sponsored us this week?
Elite Builders and Trust Bank.
Thank you, sponsors.
Yeah, it was fun.
Bill will make a contribution in your name to the alumni fund.
Oh, speaking of alumni fund, big Tuscola alumni lunch on Sunday,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Pork chop, drive-through pork chop
chops.
at the Moose.
Find an alumni board member and
Yeah.
buy a ticket.
Right.
Ken Fernandez will be flipping the pork chops.
11 to 1.
There's Bill in the church.
There's Bill.
That's
Becky,
probably
see these?
closest-
Did Becky see these pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's the bill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw them all.
She really enjoyed them.
Yeah, I loved them.
Yeah.
They're
they were
hilarious.
wonderful.
Got to run through these again. We've got Bill in a church, Bill with Lurch, Bill on a steeple, Bill with some people, Bill in a manger,
Now somebody's gonna go to hell for that one.
Bill in danger. That's why I put the danger one in, so I might get in trouble for the manger picture.
Yeah.
Bill,
Bill
I
on a
love
pickle. And Bill gets a tickle.
that.
Well, it looks like I'm grabbing his boob. Why would I grab your boob?
You're tickling him.
That's just my natural move
You're
with anybody.
tickling.
That was my natural.
That is natural.
That's my natural
Yeah.
move. That's why I only got one date. That left hand cost me a second date all the time.
I'll have to tell the boys to tune in.
Yeah.
Well, the Bill Englehart show.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Bill was, I think, Bill might have been Becky's first date.
I don't know. Was that homecoming? Probably mine.
That's what I'm saying. Might have been your first date.
Yeah,
Well, I think it was mine.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
No official dates. Unless you call meeting Connie Stabler at the old auditorium on the stage a date.
Well, that's more than a date.
I hope Connie's doing all right.
Yeah.
Connie's fine, I think. David, are you getting enough rest nowadays?
No, didn't today.
Well, you gotta get your sleep, David.
Maybe I can get a nap in.
Yeah. Well, David, you did a good job, I thought.
That was fun, David. And
Yeah, those were fun photos.
yeah,
So
And
maybe next week we can sneak in a Mike goes to church
no,
picture.
in fact, every picture of me is in a church with a Bible in my
Oh,
hand.
yeah, right.
You won't find you won't find a picture of me without a Bible or a cross, wearing a cross.
Oh,
Uh, David, you really spread it across the time zones this time. Are you still grabbing them out of a thing? Or are you trying to get a spread from the,
this is out of a box of photos, so they're from all over.
I
So
like that.
I'll be getting back to negatives. So, but anyway, trying to use up some of these photos.
Well, you do a good job, David.
So,
sure do.
all
And
right.
I like the fact, David, that you used recycled paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
David's
the
going to take a nap.
Did I
We're gonna-
hit the trifecta, Mike?
What's that?
Did I hit the trifecta?
Yeah, you did.
Mm.
You did. You talked about your article.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing about your article that was different this week, you know what that was different?
What was different?
You actually did some research. You
Yeah.
had normally you're stream of consciousness. This time you actually went to Google and got some facts to back you up.
Yeah, I got a few things. Well, if you're gotta be accurate.
Nothing like Google.
So, but I saw that
Good
commercial
article.
came on TV on the wavy line toilet paper, and it's like,
I love it. Did you read his art? He said,
I read it, yeah.
I never thought of this, but when you tear toilet paper, you're sitting at an angle. And they've discovered after 157,000 years of toilet paper that it tears better if it's got a wavy scalloped edge. And
That's
of course,
interesting.
well, take it to
scallop
Dave to write.
perforation.
Scallop perforation. So now you can rip it off, and I like when you rip it and you pull the whole roll unrolls onto the floor, and you got a pile of toilet paper.
I just have never really had any problem tearing toilet paper off the roll. Paper
Toilet-
tears, and
I've never had any fail on me, though I will say that when you go to restaurants or commercial places, they got, I think it's 1/2 ply or 1/4 ply.
yeah, that's that magical paper that disappears when you use it.
You have to roll off about a foot high piece to do anything.
Yeah, I don't know how they're saving money.
Toilet
'Cause they
paper,
use
I agree
twice
with you.
as much.
I agree with you. 2-ply toilet paper is one of the greatest inventions.
Yeah. But I think the reason they buy the 1-ply is because it doesn't get stolen as much.
No,
Yeah.
no.
That's true.
Nobody wants to take it home.
You remember during the pandemic, there was a lot of that going on.
Well, that's why, in fact, during the pandemic, you couldn't find toilet paper or mac and cheese. It took mac and cheese 2 years to catch up. Everybody bought frozen mac and cheese, macaroni and cheese, and toilet paper. And we went up to Sam's to buy that great big roll of it, and it was down to nothing. And we waited. Finally, it came out, and they said limit 1 per customer. People were grabbing 5 and 10 of them.
Mhm.
But I will say this in defense of Dr. Fauci, when they came out and said masks don't work, number one, is that there is a chance they thought the science said masks don't work. It's done by droplets. So but number two, they could have lied, knowing that if they said masks work, there'd be a run on them, there'd be none for hospital people.
Mm.
And they wanted to make sure doctors and hospital people had these
Huh.
N95 surgical masks. So yeah, I think there is runs, and so if you lie to protect a critical source, it may be a good
I
justifiable
think
lie.
Dr. Fauci was being awarded something at the U of I.
Yeah, he's had a distinguished career over. He worked on AIDS, the AIDS cocktail. It seems
Yes.
we were. He's been a brilliant epidemiologist. That's what somebody said. I read an article about Kennedy running for president, picking out his vice president, Aaron Rodgers, the Jets quarterback. They said he was a great quarterback and also a part-time epidemiologist because he didn't believe in the COVID shot.
Yeah.
So you had two vaccine deniers running for office. So I think Kennedy figured you can't have two vaccine deniers. You got to balance the ticket. Anyway, interesting 8 months coming up with politics.
Yeah.
I expect to see some blockbuster political editorials there in the papers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
We'll
get
look for
it,
those.
Dave. Go get it.
Have a good nap, David.
All right. We'll see you next week on remembering Tuscola.
That's the way. That's the best way to earn. After all that Englehart stuff, burping is the best way to end this.
I have the hiccups.
Well, that Englehart will do that to you.
I'm going to stop before I have another one.
Yeah.